It's gonna be hard. Okay, all the same. Team 5 boundaries. I think you have 2 of them are really strong riders, and 1 or 2 is not so strong. They are Cs, so we'll see.
That's like a metaphor for every team.
I get it.
I think they've got 6 in the pen, do they? They click signed in earlier anyway.
Did I say nice tits?
They all appear
Nice
to be
kids.
in our. They all appear to be in our kit. I don't know how that's happened.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bit a lot.
That's going to be very confusing.
10-mil time trial. 10-man time trial. Clearly, we just have to recognise each other by what socks we've got on. What we usually do.
Is the Titans Grove the only climb?
And then you get the KOM just around the corner from here.
We're also doing the KOM.
Just the wee small one, just after downtown.
Not the reverse, the short one.
Short one, yeah, and then it's
Okay.
rolling up and down back to the S. What's the general out of the pen scenario? Is it everybody as fast as they can, or is it just roll out?
The 2 we've done have been pretty fast out.
Right, okay.
One was led by us because we were trying to drop one of their team. The second week was a bit easier because there was only 3 of them and we couldn't really figure out what was going on.
Okay.
It was still pretty fast.
So kind of TT start and then just see what happens.
Yeah, I think we can just hang on and see what's happened. If you want to push and drop someone in their team, we can do it on the rollers before the Titans go.
Just shout, and I'll do what I can. I suppose we will be able to recognise each other on the right-hand screen as this. We'll have TP1D after each of our names, won't we? They won't. Helps.
Okay, we'll see what they will do.
Here we go.
Nice easy start.
Woo!
Oh.
Pretty cagey start.
Some of them is almost dropped it. No, it's coming back. Yeah, let that guy go.
Yeah. They're trying to bluff us into something there, I think.
Yeah.
Guarantee it'll just be strung out. We'll be all stuck in the front chasing a ghost. No reason.
That guy is an A also, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, fair play if he wants to do 5 watts average round pace.
That can only be good for us if he goes away. We can't help if the second one breaks away.
Let them slip onto the front of this blob, but don't let them get away. What's he got? 10 seconds.
He's still doing 4.5, 5. That's mad.
His downfall might well be down the downhill when he's lonesome.
I think they have 2 strong guys sitting in here.
You and who more?
I'm the last
Thing is,
one.
if we let them through to make them push, they're going to push that space.
Yes, let them lead us up.
Are you happy for that first front guy just to? Because he'll obviously just be further away, and they'll push.
Ah, we'll leave him to it.
Okay. It's 5v4 then.
Yeah, we need to beat them here. We don't need to set PBs, we just need to beat who's here with us.
I might about to do. Are we trying to break away on the uphill now? Or
You think we can?
I don't know.
The gap to the first rider's shrinking anyway.
Shall we try? I can try a little bit.
Okay. Not really working.
No. And the guy in front is waiting.
Stay with those two. Don't let two of them get away. That's good work. Okay. Have we dropped some? I think we have.
Yep.
Tim, are you with us?
No, I'm out.
Shit.
There's two down, only one down.
That was too fast for me.
Just beat whoever you can, Kim. Every point counts.
Yeah, you're gonna beat the other two, Kim.
Yeah, if they don't drop me.
Take
No,
them do
they-
all the work. Just surf the
Do
wheel.
we have 4-on-3 here?
Just go with them and kill them on the com.
Yeah.
Difficult to know whether front rider gave up or we caught him.
I think he gave up, but he'll be saving himself for the end now. That could have been a pretty good tactic from them. They almost had 3 guys off the front going up that hill.
My fault.
No, they did it well. The guy that was off the front waited for them, and they got 2 on the front, and I thought the 3 of them were going to go. I thought they timed it perfectly.
Worked hard. Oh, we get power ups. Yes, the scenario is Cat A rider goes ballistic at the KOM or goes mediocre and then puts the afterburners on, goes through the banner. Or none of the above.
I think he's shown us that he can win if he wants to win, so
Yeah.
somebody's on the move now. Heck,
The next one will be on the com.
say again.
The next one will be on the com.
Yeah.
I think we know these three can climb. Are we just doing ourselves a problem by leaving them together and waiting till they come?
Yes, if it all sticks together through the glass tunnel, before we turn left, there's an option for two guys to go push a wee bit harder and try and get a small gap. Is that just suicide? This is a very high B cat A. I think it's struggle.
Yeah. The two guys I sit with, they seem to be heavier than me, but I can do 5 watts on the climb, and I can't drop them. They do 6 or 7. So I'm lucky to still be here.
Bit of a dash there from one of them.
Yep.
You are rolling? Shit.
Alright, they've slowed up, slowed up, slowed up, slowed up.
Just the two corners on the climb, the right, left, and we can drop.
Guys, slow down.
He's going to want to pull one of his guys over with him.
And the left.
One going past you, Jonas. Push, push, push.
Yeah, play with them. Yeah.
What did you say, Jonas?
Hey, hang on, hang on. Just stay behind them.
Jonas, tell
Yeah.
me if you're about to lose them.
What?
Tell me if you are about to drop them and you want me to push.
You two need to push. I'm behind you on my own. One of theirs is behind me on his own.
That's me. I'm behind you, Gareth. The
think
other guy
these guys
17.
are really strong, Örjan.
They've got 2. We've
But
got
you
4.
Örjan, you have a good sprint, so just stay in.
I'll
It's good
chase
enough.
Gareth.
It
Are
could
there
be
any more
one.
time? I got a feather.
I have this drafting power up left. Think you're gonna can beat one of the guys.
Well, guys.
Oh, guys, come on.
Oh, oh, ah, ah. Well done, Jonas. Oh, ah, oh.
Oh, I've made it.
Well done, those at the front. Yeah.
Oh. Oh. Crossing the line, 0. Oh. Yes, Jonas, number 1. Well done.
Ah, well done.
OJ, fantastic 3rd place. Well done. That's outstanding, lads.
Oh, fantastic.
You beat an A, Jonas.
I think he left me. Oh. Fucking shit. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Well, that's the first time I've done that. I love that, Gareth. That was great fun. That it's just tactical until you blow, and then you hope.
Well, that was a bit of an all of a sudden explosion, that.
Yeah, it was nothing like the 2 previous races. Oh.
I think that's what it's going to be like. Every race is going to be absolutely different.
Yeah.
I assume they attacked after the KOM. Is that right?
Their A was on the front, and one of their Bs, I think the fella called John, went steaming past me just at the top of the KOM, and I shouted to Jonas, and Jonas went with him, and Oyan came past both of us, and the 4 of them went off down the road. I couldn't keep
So
up with
the
them.
A's taking up the majority of the work. A strong B is, as maybe expected, burst through the top when there's a downhill.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's able to draft his A. He's able to hold reasonable power, didn't you?
I tried to catch on, but I just couldn't get there, and then one of their guys was coming behind me, and I thought, if they slow up and I catch on to them, we're likely to end up 3v3, so send them on their way, and I just soloed it.
So I came through the KOM going, done wrong here, and then I thought I was pulling back a wee bit, but that was the same as you guys. We might be able to. I thought they might slow down at the front, and if we work just a wee bit harder, we might catch them. But no, not happening.
Oh, Jonas is too strong these days.
No, but good. Top bloke.
You still there, Kim?
Yeah.
Sorry we lost you.
No, it's just that the difference between my 20 minutes and my 1 minute isn't that big. So actually, on the top of the com, I was 11 seconds ahead of the 2 guys behind me. But I was wasted on the top, and they were just doing 4.2, and the one guy he caught, and he was 50 seconds before me and at the finish line. I had no chance of sitting in. So even if they are sea riders, they must be young, or they must have a great potential.
I saw one was, I think he is 28 years. So
Well, there's an
Yeah,
excuse straight away.
that's
I'm
young.
about I'm the double.
Oh,
It's clearly,
It is
it's
kind-
obviously straight water.
Sorry, Ian.
No, by the way,
I was just going to say it's interesting the way the new ranking system works, that you can have A's and C's effectively next to each other in the ranking.
yeah.
or it's a good way of putting us as a team in doubt as to are they really up for it? Clearly they were, but you can you think a couple of C's maybe they're not. Just they haven't got the team members.
Yeah. Well, the first week we raced a full team of women, and the lead woman in that team was an A woman who was A mixed as well, and he was holding the same sort of ranking as us and blew us away.
Sorry guys, I think I have to go. I feel a little bit ill. Almost as I have to throw up. Yeah. I think
Well, immediately go and lie down.
You
I
performed
Yeah,
well
Jonas.
for me.
It's also a little bit too hard. Okay. See you.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Jonas.
Look after yourself.
Bye, Jonas.
Bye.
Nothing that a beer won't cure.
Absolutely. These Europeans just haven't sussed it. Technically a beer beforehand.
I think that was a lot more fun than the ZRL was going to be tonight anyway.
Oh, that was not my bad. I actually saw some of that on YouTube, and there's a guy I've seen before. He usually obviously videos of him or streams it, and he was doing quite well to begin with. And then if you scroll all the way through to 43 minutes, he looks utterly broken. I mean broken. He looks like a shell. It looks like a shell of the man who started. Just like no thanks. It's just I mean that if you look when you looked at the beginning of that ZRL on YouTube, the lead riders are all doing 6.5 watts up the first hill, and then it's loads of anvils for the group to get back together, and then by the time you've done the next up, the next down, and back onto the next up, you've got a group of maybe 12 or 15 at the front, and then it's just separate groups thereafter. And I said that guy went from second place, 12th place. I think he ended up about 39th or something like that. But he just looked like he'd been out for a 200-mile cycle. The funny thing was the video came to. No, the video, when he was streaming it, it got to 45 minutes, and he just reached and stopped. He was obviously just going to either throw up or fall off his bike. He wasn't. He didn't care what his place was. Didn't care what any of the information was. Just went stop, and the streaming stopped immediately. Well, that tells you all you need to know, I think. Pure sod.
Yeah, Jonas talked me into doing 3 races back to back one day on the Scotland courses, and that was the second race. And I think I got halfway up the first climb and just went, no, it is not fun for me. I'm just going to stop.
I mean, I think there's a limit. You know.
I don't mind suffering a bit and having a bit of fun, but it's just
but
not
to me,
fun
that's
at all.
much. No, that to me this evening was an absolute. That's a. You know, it started off out the pen as you maybe expect, then calmed down a wee bit cagey, a wee bit every so often you have to put a bit of power down just the gaps. That's what it's all about. That's what it should be like. That's more fun. You've got to think. Otherwise, you just follow a great big peloton up the hill, knowing it's going to split just before the top, because all the madmen go for it. And
Well,
then
there
it's
is
just
at least
to find a group.
there's at least breaks in this. You know, if you try and ride a big
Absolutely,
group
yeah.
ride, there's no breaks in Zwift. Whereas in this, you have to be alert because they did almost catch us in the tunnel there. Two of them went off the front, and if
Yeah.
they'd have thought they could stay away, they would have been away, and we wouldn't have been able to get them. So
The weird thing was, and I was going to say it at the time, and I was sitting there in the front, and I thought, keep an eye, and I thought somebody's going to go. And I'm thinking that as it happened, and of course I've then got to react. And by the time they've gone past, and I'm going right, drop it into a bigger gear, out the saddle, give it, try and catch it. You're thinking, oh, this is going to go really bad. And as it was, I don't know whether they were just testing us or they thought, nah, it's not worked, because immediately also the gap came straight back down. But
yeah,
you could be caught sleeping, and that's fun. You've got to be alert. You've got to then suddenly go from mid zone 2 to zone 4.5, 5, just to make up that gap again.
it's one of those things that every race is going to be different, and you're going to have to. We're sort of still settling into all the different tactics, and like I'm sure they were testing us, and there was a wee bit there at the end of Titans where I sort of went off the front a wee bit just to try and stretch us because I thought the pace was getting a bit slow, and we didn't want them to rest too much. And
Yeah.
but then you don't want to tire yourself out either.
No, I mean that's the thing. You could always have somebody who looks like the lead guy, who looks like an A, but is actually he's a B, but he could be an A. And every so often he just goes off the front, just to sort of see what they're going to do. And he could just keep doing that over and over again. And that guy's not, our rider's not going to win, but he's just going to constantly keep them on their guard, as long as they don't counter attack at any point. I suppose, but yeah, it's.
In our last one, I sort of tried that tactic. I said to Mark and Steady, there was two of the other team on the front, and I said to Mark and Steady, you two push now, and me and Orjan will come from behind and go over the top of you, and they'll not see it coming because they'll be tired from you pushing. But it was too late in the race, and Mark and Steady just didn't have the legs to stretch it. But
yeah, I mean, again, the course will dictate how much free time you get to get your breath back, because the downhill actually wasn't too bad, because in a group race on the Titans, the downhill is usually just manic. It just doesn't stop, whereas at times you could catch your breath a wee bit today, which is quite nice, and then check out who's round about you.
It's a very good number to race with, because if two go off the front and then the rest still blob up, there's a good chance of them catching. But there's also always the chance that the two can get away. So it's it's just completely different from everything else on Zwift. And
it's so much more fun. It's tactical. It's you've got to be. You're just. I mean, in a huge group with a big peloton, you're not somebody can't see if anybody goes off the front generally. So. If you're that far back, you ain't going chasing them. Your race is already over. But this one, you've got to every so often go from 0 to 160 as quick as you can, and then back again.
It was an added dimension having everybody in Type 1 kit as well. I don't know what that was about.
Yeah. You've got one eye in the front on your avatar and the other eye on the right-hand column going, right, where's everybody? I'm still not entirely sure what the guy who went Titans was all about to begin with. I don't know if he went off the front thinking somebody was going to follow, and nobody did, and he was sort of caught in no man's land. But he was still pushing a reasonable amount of watts, when he could quite easily come off the gas.
Yeah, you'd have thought he would have come off the gas because it was just wasting energy, but he just went and went.
Or whether their tactic was one of their guys was then going to suddenly catch us where we're sleeping and make up that gap, and the two of them were going to work together. But obviously we were maybe a bit more switched on, and that we couldn't see that happening either.
Well, the way that guy went past me at the top of the other com, he had sort of gone past me going up Titans as well, and one of their other rider had as well, and it looked dangerously close to three of them getting away from us just at the top of Titans. And that's why I sort
Yeah.
of screamed, and Jonas he always seems to have an extra little bit of power, Jonas. And he just
came
got
up,
in
he just
between
came
them.
past me with about 100 yards to go, and I sort of sat in the tail. But the interesting thing was, they didn't continue that too much over the top, allowing us all to sort of regroup fairly quickly. But having said that, they were already 2 guys down. Already at that point. So I mean, it was really that's not going to plan. The good thing is, you know, in a year's time, 6 months' time, somebody else could pick that course, and you could be the team against them. You know, right? Okay, we tried this first time around. What do we try the second time?
Yeah, well, you'll never believe this. We had free choice this week, and it was Jonas that picked that course.
Oh, honestly. Well, I think a course will be a few up and downs, and the course does. If it's just a flat course, it can be like 10%. You get. It's either going to be a zone 2 for 10, 12 miles, and then a sprint at the end, or it's going to be an all-out TT. At least with that one, it's a bit of jigging. It's a bit of, you know, you don't know what's going to happen, and that's maybe a good thing. But you have to play to your strengths, obviously.
Yeah, well, I mean, last week the other team picked 3 laps of park perimeter in New York. Okay, it's up and down, and it's a bit of a pain in the arse, but there's no real huge hills to get a gap going. And we tried a couple of times. You go through the sprint, and there is a wee bit of a hill, and then you round the corner up to the start line. We tried a few times there, but there was nothing really doing, and it just came down to a sprint at the end, you know.
I mean, I quite like a course where there's a wee hill of sorts where you can just increase the cadence for a bit, just gives your legs a bit of something different to do, and then you get back into that sort of steady state. It's almost like a rest, and otherwise it's just a kind of, you get into TT mode and you sit on the same pace, but you know that actually tires you out more sometimes.
I really dislike items the way we did it tonight, because I always seem to be sort of tiring myself out on the rollers before you get to the palm, and then I can't just give it my full effort there.
Because the other way is slightly easier. I think the finish the other way around is slightly easier. It's more of a steady gradient, whereas that one is downhill and it goes up for 0.6 a mile or something like that. It just goes up. Yeah. Oh. Right. Well, have a good.
That was a good introduction anyway, and hopefully.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
I don't know how many more there's going to be before the ZRL finals finish. We might get another race against these guys again next week. That was 2 or 3 guys that didn't qualify for their ZRL teams, and a couple that were being rested. We might get another one next week if they're up for it. But I think we're sort of thinking of rejigging the competition a wee bit, and then launching properly once the ZRL finals are over, so that we've got a bit of space to.
It's all a bit of experimentation. You'll find what works and what doesn't. I think the feedback seems to be quite good. So from that point of view, that's ticking lots of boxes.
Yeah.
Right. Well, time to sign off.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
We need to get some done.
Maybe see you on. Well, I'll see you on Thursday, Ian. I might see Kim
See you
on Thursday.
Yeah, Gareth. And,
Yeah.
Any time in between that. On some weird text messaging service.
All right, guys.
All right, gentlemen. Have a jolly good evening. Catch you all soon.
Yeah, you too. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.